A salesperson's weekly paycheck is 40% less than a second salesperson's paycheck. The two paychecks total $1,525. Find the amount of each paycheck, round to the nearest cent. Salesperson 1 only makes 60% of what salesperson 2 does. That's because they make 40% less than salespersons 2. But we know that together they make $1,525. So we can build a linear equation out of that. 0.60x plus 1x equals 1525. These two terms are like terms, and don't forget that's a 1, so we have a grand total of 1.60x equals 1525. Divide both sides by 1.60, and we get $953.13. 60% of that amount is $571.88. So we now know that salesperson 1 made $571.88, while salesperson 2 made $953.13. The price of a train ticket after an 18.5% discount is $130.40. Find the original list price of the ticket. Well, first, we are going to assign X as the original price. That's what we're looking for. If you have a discount of 18.5%, then your discounted price is only 81.5% of the original price. And that's because 1 minus 0.185 is 0.815. Our discount price was $130.40, so we can make up an equation with those two values. Divide both sides by 0.815, and we get X as 160, and that represents our original price. A family has a monthly mortgage payment of $632, which is 16% of the family's monthly income. What is the family's monthly income? So we're going to assign X to be the monthly income. The mortgage payment is 16% of that original value. 0.16x equals $632. Divide both sides by 0.16, and we get X, which is the monthly income of the family, as $3,950. To get an A in the course, you must have an average of 90% on 4 tests worth 100 points each. Your scores so far are 88, 93, and 86. What must you earn on the 4th test to get an A in the course? Since they're all evenly weighted at 100 points each, we just have to add up our 3 test scores given, plus use X for a 4th, divide by 4. It's just like if you take the average of any number of test scores, add them all up, divide by how many there are. Now, since we have to have a 90 for a minimum to get an A, we're going to set that equal to 90. Multiply both sides by 4. On the left, your 4's cancel. On the right, that tells us that we have to have 360 points total to earn an A. In the blue highlight, we have 3 test scores already, and those add up to 267 points. And that tells us when we subtract from 360 that our 4th test has to be a 93. You're driving on a freeway to a town that's 300 miles from your home. After 30 minutes, you pass a freeway exit that you know is 50 miles from your home. If you continue at the same speed, how many hours will the entire trip take? Okay, so we're going from home to some other town. After 50 miles, we see an exit sign that we know is 50 miles from our home, and it only took us 30 minutes to get there. So if you travel 50 miles in 30 minutes, you're averaging 100 miles per hour. I don't know how legal that is, but for this description, that's fast. Remember that distance is equal to speed times time. Since we have to travel 300 miles and we know we're going 100 miles per hour, when you divide those two, you get t equals 3 hours. Light travels at the speed of approximately 3 times 10 to the 8th meters per second. Find the time in minutes required for light to travel from sun to the earth, an approximate distance of 1.5 times 10 to the 11th meters, rounded to decimal places. All right, so remember from above, distance is equal to speed times time. We divided by speed, so distance divided by speed will give you time. Distance from sun to earth, we put that in our numerator, that's distance. Speed of light, that's 3.0 times 10 to the 8th, that's our denominator. 1.5 over 3, that's 1 half. 10 to the 11th divided by 10 to the 8th, that leaves 10 to the 3rd. 10 to the 3rd over 2, because that reduced to a half, that's 1,000 over 2, which is 500 seconds. Now in class, we used a little scientific notation button on your calculator. It's typically a capital E that you see somewhere around your number 7. But you would go 1.5 E11, make sure that's all in parentheses, divide, start a fresh set of parentheses, 3, and then you would do the E button and 8. That'll give you 500 seconds. Well, since there's 60 seconds in a minute, we can convert 500 seconds to minutes. Seconds cancel. 500 divided by 60 is 8.33 minutes. You measure a tree's shadow and find that it is 10 meters long. Then you measure the shadow of a nearby 2-meter lamppost and find that it's 75 centimeters long. How tall in meters is the tree? Okay, now since we're dealing strictly with meters in the left figure, and we have meters and centimeters in the lamppost figure, we have to be careful. 75 centimeters needs to be converted to meters. 1 meter has 100 centimeters, and if you stack your conversion this way, your centimeters will cancel. 75 divided by 100 is 0.75, and I've written that here in the diagram so that now we have meters in all measurements, and you want that kind of consistency for these. All right, let's set it up. First, we're going to use the tree diagram. Tree over shadow equals, then we move to the lamppost figure, lamppost over shadow, cross multiply, so 0.75x is equal to 2 times 10, 0.75x equals 20, divide both sides by 0.75, and we find that 20 divided by 0.75 is just shy of 27 meters. 26.7 is what we've got, and that represents the height of that tree.